Is the EU done with member states using vetoes as a hostage-taking tool?
Nobody can blackmail the European Council. Nobody can blackmail the European Union institutions.
We will deliver on the loan, one way or the other.
Hungary vetoed again the 91 billion euros loan to Ukraine, blocking the entire European Union. To understand how this is working, you need to understand how the EU veto works and how it is becoming a hostage-taking tool. The veto goes back to 1966, when France boycotted EU Council meetings over majority voting. The standoff ended with the Luxembourg Compromise, giving any member state the power to block decisions by invoking very important national interests. It was never written into law, but it set a norm that lasted for decades. When one country objects, everyone waits. Today, unanimity is still legally required in key areas like foreign and security policy, taxation, treaty changes, and EU budget decisions. That means if one of 27 governments says no, everything stops. For most EU history, vetoes are used to protect genuine national interests on the files being voted on. What has changed is how Hungary, under Viktor Orban, have started using them. Since 2011, Hungary has used the veto more than any other EU member state, with 21 recorded times across 38 issues. That's triple than the next country, Poland, with 7 vetoes. Slovakia, the Netherlands, France and Greece have each used it twice, and all other member states combined account for just 10 more. Experts call this soft hostage-taking. The veto isn't used to defend a national interest on the file, it is used as leverage to extract concessions on a completely different file. What the EU can do, changing the treaties and removing the veto altogether, requires unanimity, which means a member state would have to agree to its own removal, making this scenario virtually impossible. But the EU has tools it's already using. Constructive abstention, when a country can leave the room and let the others vote. Enhanced cooperation, when 9 or more states can move ahead without the rest. Issue unbundling, splitting packages so one veto cannot block everything at once, and tightening conditionality, making clear that frozen funds don't move without real reforms. The EU's instinct is rarely confrontation. Leaders prefer bilateral deals, bilateral compromises, and working around blockers rather than going through them. This time is no different. To bypass the veto on the Ukraine loan, the EU is fast-tracking Croatia's Adria pipeline to reduce Hungarian dependence on Russian oil. Profits from frozen Russian assets are being ring-fenced for Ukraine loan repayment, and they started normalizing what they're calling EU26 decision-making. The veto isn't disappearing, but the more the EU works around it, the less it becomes worthy. For the full story, read our in-depth explainer on euronews.com.